Greetings everyone, and Great here with another Age of Empires 4 replay. Small on top left side is yellow Japanese, but Numaudan. Small on bottom right side is the magenta or purple English, got Wam01. When it comes to map generation, let's see, there's of course a couple valleys in the valleys. A little bit split apart. English player has a gold deposit behind him, Japanese gold deposit in front of him, so this may be a good area for a longbow rush. Survival techniques researched immediately by who? The Japanese player immediately got out the survival techniques. Okay, that's interesting. English player is not. He's just going to collect the venison as well. Large gold deposit in the corner for both sides. Of course, got the excavation site or forgotten ruins here. Bit of stone up front, and the English player does have a pair of tree deposits in front. Japanese player has one tree deposit up front for coverage, while having a safe one in the back, so I don't have to worry about that being harassed as much. Large stone and gold over here. And for the English player, small gold on the side, small gold in the center, Japanese small gold. Yeah, it looks like that's pretty equal on both sides. The English player has a couple of wood deposits up front, and that's the big difference I can see. It looks like the English player may be eyeing for a secondary town center. We do also have the Kodo Township rather than the Kira Storehouse. I always like to see the other landmark that's less used. Never really see Shinobi being used too much. They're definitely a unit to get past walls pretty easily. Other than that, they're just... I sort of want to know, has anybody really tried to mass produce them? They are light infantry, so they're pretty easy to counter. Every King's course will get a free king. Kodo Township is being rapidly built with 5 villagers. Of course, we'll get 1 free shinobi. Oh, they added a little thing here where the shinobi does sort of pop in. They should add that to other factions. So free shinobi is now out. And he is immediately going for 2 more, so we are going to see some aggressive shinobi play. I suppose a refresh of what shinobi and their advantages and all that sort would probably be a good idea. Shinobi only costs 100 resources, so they're not too terribly expensive. More expensive than spearmen, cheaper than a man-at-arms. The damage is incredibly high. The attack speed's, what, same as a man-at-arms? But they have 20 damage and plus 5 versus melee, so they have pretty good damage. 3 of them could be used to blink forward and one-shot a villager, potentially. The King's now being pulled on the field. The Shinobi may be able to defeat the King in 1v1 combat. The King has high health, but low DPS. Shinobi is relatively squishy. It is light infantry. But for its price, it's actually probably not too half bad. Something you could probably just generally mix in your composition. Got the... There's a secondary town center. This is probably the time for the Shinobi to teleport the way forward. They do blink forward. Ooh, I suppose against the English, this is probably not a great idea. I forgot the fact that English has short bows. Ugh, those English did not, those Shinobi did not last very long. It looks like the blink does not interrupt the arrows. Or he teleported into the arrows. Yeah, those Shinobi got crushed. This is okay, good to know. Shinobi are not good versus English. Particularly if the English has 16 villagers shooting them all at once, or 3/4 of the villagers. Scout is down, not big surprise. So we've got the king and 1 scout there. Destroyed Valley can't really be focusing on that anymore. Cancel town center among other things. Yep. King took a bit of damage there. So for now, don't worry about the destroyed value since the town center got cancelled there. And I'm feeling maybe the landmark did at once, but who knows. The king took a bit of damage there, has a bit of health regen to work with himself. As much as I said, oh, Shinobi seemed pretty good, but I suppose one Shinobi was not going to work out versus all those villagers, or even just 2. And since the English just has those short bows, they're able to get a lot of damage on a single point target very quickly without needing to go up and stab him. floating gate being established, which will of course give access to Shinto priests, and he's also going for a stable here, eyeing for some quick mounted samurai. He even managed to squeeze out a daimyo manor, so you could perhaps go for a banner man before the age up. Probably a good idea to keep the banner man before the age up. Looks like the king will be taking on Pumbaa. The Kuna Matata has been disturbed. 8 villagers there. Level 2 wheelbarrow now being researched. And there's the Uma Banner Man. Regular mounted samurai probably soon on the way. Just needs some more food. English player will have good amount of town centers. We do have enough resources to age up. We're probably going to see the White Tower. The White Tower being established right there. The king's probably going to have to be sacked to help this out. The mounted samurai, the banner man, will easily defeat the king. And right now, the mounted samurai does have 22 damage at the moment, so it won't two shots of villagers. We need all 3 of his blacksmith upgrades to do that. The English player is going to lose a decent number of villagers. Luckily, he has a secondary town center as a consolation prize. The king, of course, has pretty poor DPS. Attack speed is pretty slow. Another mounted samurai here. The White Tower will be completed relatively soon. Does get charged attack, does get 1-2 swipe thanks to the charge attack, and with the bannerman nearby, this mounted samurai will get 2-shot these villagers. Killing off 7 villagers. The English player has actually killed off 1, I'm not sure from where. Managed to take out both of them, but that did of course stabilize the potential economics here. We've got something inside the town center. What it is, I'm not sure. Looks like it was a villager. I saw the 1Z up there. Yep, the villager saying ZZZ out loud by screaming it. That's clearly what that means. There's yelling Z so they get noticed, so you can move them around. We do have another banner man here. Good number of mounted samurai and the scout. Shinto priest here. A round of basic walls being deployed on the field. More mounted samurai being deployed by the Japanese player. The English player should respond to with crossbowmen. Going for his own knights. They are going to be inferior to the mounted samurai. They effectively have the same stats, but the deflection course will give them... Oh, looks like the damage aura gets subsided when they're in throwing torches, so it does not improve the torch damage. It actually physically removes the aura effect while throwing torches. That's interesting. I wonder if it's the state has to be with the bannermen throwing torches, or whenever the mounted samurai throwing torches. Never noticed this weird quirk. He has taken out the palisade wall, which also destroyed this other set of wall segments. Will not destroy the palisade gate. Oh, it will destroy the palisade gate. Don't know what I was thinking. I'm probably thinking a bit too much of age mythology. Got the king here. And the Shinto priest is going to grab some relics. Yellow so far has claimed 1. Yellow definitely has a significant amount of field control. We do have now a crossbowman being employed in field. The secondary town center still providing additional villagers. Of course, not all those villagers can find harbor. The knights can intercept, help delay this. 1 crossbowman for support, 1 scout in the region. Could focus on the scout there. Taking on the scout is actually quite important, because it removes the spotting radius. Now they're pretty blind. The mounted samurai, speaking about pretty blind, finds the White Tower again. Fair amount of damage from that mounted samurai, almost knocks it out. I think the deflection aura did actually manage to save it there. Not aura, but ability. This here probably won't destroy the gate. And starting to repair up the walls over there. He can try squeezing the samurai along the wall, try to stab the villagers repeatedly. king and knights pushing forward. Villagers backing off away from, I'm guessing it was a berry deposit. Fair amount of impalements there. He does have textiles, so they can withstand another shot there. And if they're just without the charge attack, they will withstand 4 hits, or take 4 hits to kill. Multiple Shinto shrines here. He's designed to try to grab those relics as quickly as he can. The English player has not got any monks in the field. 1 relic here, another relic over here. And yellow's picked up 2 relics and claimed the 3rd. So yellow could claim every single relic, which will provide an X amount of gold, not than the Shinto Yoshiros for the additional income, which you could put that in gold and get between all the extra gold. That's a lot of extra gold income. Was it up to 8 Yoshiro, which is what, 400 gold potentially, plus all 5 relics, which is another 400 gold. Or was that 200 gold? No, that's 400 gold. So you could potentially get up to 800 passive gold, which is, well, a significant amount. Does get these guys quite nicely. You start repairing that wall segment again. So I'm gonna capture the sacred site there. We do now have the Daimyo Palace being deployed in the field. That has been deployed in the field. Lancers do get a bit of impalement there. Tails focus on the wounded mounted samurai there. The wounded knights are falling on backs. Crossbowmen taking some hits there. Knights being rotated back on in. They're not taking damage at the moment. 1 knight just get picked off there. Villagers coming to support. More crossbowmen advancing. Good micro there by Purple the crossbowmans. Another mounted samurai going down. Villagers will be picked on off. The English player still has a superior number of villagers. Good for now. Wait a second. This is the only trade post on the map. Let's look at that mounted samurai there. There's only 1 trade post on the map. I've been seeing a number of bugs on this map. And there's only 1 trade post on this map. So if the English player wants to get extra gold income outside of the enclosures, you'll have to trade with this trade post. Am I blind? Yeah, there's no trade post here. It didn't spawn on this map. I've been noticing that this map has been quite asymmetrical and some sides of the map just not been spawning properly. I just realized that. So the English player has to solely rely on enclosures. I was going to say he's going to miss out the relics. He's going to miss out on the, of course, doesn't have the Yoshiros for gold income. Enclosures is nice and all, but he still may want to get some extra supplementary gold income with the market, which is pretty safe on this map. The fact that he didn't have a market spawn on this side of the map means it's not safe at all. You can still claim a relic from the Forgotten Ruins. Same thing with yellow. And probably a good idea to task a villager there. It would be useful for help getting more bannermans either way. But still, Magenta will have to try to secure this trade post in order to get out trade caravans. Which is feasible. There's not too much terrain here to block off, and here as well, but still. At that point in time, if they say Magenta put some walls there, he could simply put a siege tower there and start firing over there. But my apologies, saw the icon comment there. What's the trade time? Oh, what is the tent icon? It is something that added in the last expansion pack. The Forgotten Ruins. You can task a villager inside of it. You get 60 stones per minute. When the and you don't have to worry about any sort of drop off. And after 6 minutes, it creates a creates a relic. So it's a good way to get some stone, as well as potentially a relic later on. But still, that is no substitute for a trade post. While the king did get some age-up benefits, it's still very inferior to knights and lancers and particularly mounted samurai, so this is too much for Magenta to claim. Those are villagers, not crossbowmans. We do have the longbowman research, or was that the Yumi archer? It looks like we got Yumi archers being deployed on the field. Though Purple can deploy his own pair of markets and do internal trainings, but it's like a 30%, 33% or 25% negative. So it's a lot, you get a lot less income that way, but sometimes he may just need to get out that little extra gold income. Maybe 10 to 20 traders on that and live with it. But he does have a bit of deficit there. I don't see any chats and one doing these multiplayer casts, so if you were to message his opponent saying, hey, there's no trade post inside the map, don't touch yours as good sportsmanship, that would be, of course, good sportsmanship. Now it's time right here. Scout should spot him. Oops. Knight, I cannot select do that. Should be able to quickly pick that off. I'm going to go ahead and minimize the mini-map now as the game starts to continue on. We do now the Ruinguard Palace being pulled in the field, as well as a Trebuchet. Ruinguard Palace gives a lot of fun assets, particularly the Ruinguard Rangers. Or Wineguard, not Warrenguard. I keep on putting R there. There's no R. If you were to pull it right at the end, it becomes an R. Crossbow now being pulled in the field. Scout will be going on down. Japanese are pretty known to go for heavy Onibuki shells in the later games, so Warrenguard Raiders would be quite excellent. And if he ages up to Tengashima Gunsmith, you of course get access to some excellent gunpowder units, which the Warrenguard Rangers could counter the hand cannoneers from that. But of course, the Otsu is a heavy range gunpowder unit, which will means it gets countered by crossbowmen instead. Let's see, English player is going for the Warrenguard Footman. It is a men-arms variant, which has bonus entries cavalry, but has less range armor. Once one of them gets deployed out of the field, or one group of them, I will select it and show you their stats. Since it's probably something I don't know exactly off the top of my head, got the elite crossbowman research now on the way. Warrenguard Footmen do take 40 seconds, same thing as Warrenguard Rangers. Good damage there. There's a Warrenguard Footman, has less melee armor, not less range armor. 3, 6, 20 damage, plus 5 as cavalry, so it's like the Shinobi, but armored. And the attack speed's actually relatively slow as well. I think the health is greater than men-at-arms. Yeah, much greater. Men-at-arms are usually, what, 225 on elite? Oh, these guys do have a nice 280. They have enough armor to resist the Yumis, while also having the correct typing against them as well. English players going for a heavy number of crossbowmen. No more Warrenguard Footmen at the moment. Oh, nope, got another group of them there, just not stacking up like that. I'm pretty sure they are affected by armor clad, so it'd be a good idea to get that research sooner rather than later. White Tower taking more damage there. Yellow's claimed every single sacred site and has 4 out of 5 relics claimed. The last one just picked up in one of the guys' hands. Outpost, fortified, spring guard upgrade, basic defense, just preventing a single unit from decapturing it. Each player is not going for enclosures. The Japanese player has enough gold to age up, needs more food. The White Tower is now becoming the Fire Tower. And Lucy stopped repairing it. Since it's a landmark, only takes wood to repair. Right now, the army size, Yellow has a much higher army value. But Magenta does have a bit more of a counter armor, go for more Warrenguard Footmen. Number of the Oni Mushas, which is the mounted archers, is the crossbow replacement for the Japanese. The king is here. So the mounted samurai starting going down. Of course, he's still age 3. The English player is starting to get age 4 units online. Incendiary is probably a good idea. Of course, gold's always a bit of an issue sometimes. Each player has 105 villagers, so the longer the game goes on, the more his economy will pay out. Nice charge before, get some good hits there on some of those trebuchets. The king is dead. Crossbone push right forward. Some Onimusha here. Try and focus on some of the crossbone, not focus on the Wormguard footmen. This he may just want to delete the stables, causing mobility issues. Got another network of castles pulling on the field, maybe network citadels. Nope, just network castles. Yellow's falling on back. Magenta has a pretty good defensive point there and a good counter army. Yumi archers right now doing 9 damage. The Wormguard footmen have 8 armor, so those Yumi archers only do 1 damage, which is not good enough. Japanese player is starting to mix in some more spearmen, but the problem is the English player has nothing for those spearmen to really counter. He has gone for no more knights. And more crossbow build queue. I don't think Magenta has a university just yet. Yep, no university just yet. Any more infrastructure there? Is going for more Wormguard footmen. Has decent supply resources. Could has a handful of villagers start repairing the White Tower. And now the Japanese players are going to pull out some more farms. Maybe spread out some farmhouses along the edges, so better drop-off points. All 6 sides still catch up with the Japanese players, so in 7 minutes he may win. So this game may end around the 30-minute mark. Veteran Samurai being employed in the field. You do have the fortified outposts there. And Tenkashima Gunsmith all being employed in the field. I suppose Onimusha will still be useful against all the Wormguard footmen. Fortified outpost, no one's... Oh, there's incendiary arrows. The armor tactics would be quite nice, but it's particularly expensive. He doesn't have too much wood at the moment as well. Outpost gets set ablaze. Magenta's just going to ignore the outpost and start pushing forward. There's Tenkashima. Oh no, wait. That's Castle Crow. I didn't see him swap with the landmark. My apologies. Castle Crow now being employed in the field, which will of course utilize that trade post there to get some free resources. About 2,000 every 5 minutes. Number of samurai here, which samurai against all the crossbow is a bad idea, so probably should stop doing samurai. Magneto's definitely a good option. Rolling oil being researched there, has not set up a treasure caravan just yet. Paul should, there we go, treasure caravan summoned. Providing, yep, I guess correctly, 2,000. It's 2,013 resources. And it is like every 5 minutes, right? 300 seconds, so 6 minutes. No, 5 minutes. I was correct. The forge has been set ablaze. Central Second Side has been decaptured. White Tower. Could at least task a village or two to start repairing it. Elite armor tactics, elite mana arms, and elite horsemans. More crossbowmen. If one to pull out more spearmen, Wormguard Rangers definitely be the way. The capital does have 3 defensive arrows to defend himself with. A handful of outposts being employed on the field for the network of castles. Don't think that there's a network citadel being researched just yet. Nope, it's not. Yellow has obtained the Forgotten Ruins. Magenta's armor clad's almost complete. It is now complete. See, 2-4 armor, so now the Wormguard footman has 10 range armor. Probably best not to go for Wormguard footman against Onabugishans with their high attack speed. These guys don't have good melee armor. Spearmen are heading over to this berry bush. Large number of spearmen there, stabbing a bunch of villagers. Number of mounted samurai over here. Still just got wooden walls. Gold deposit claim. This may be traversable now. Elite Onimusha, Oda tactics. Basic stone walls there. Villagers building a castle here, trying to obtain this gold deposit. Last gold deposit other than that one is this one here, which only has 400. And also this one here, so it looks like the Japanese player is able to claim majority of the map on the gold on the map. Of course, the English player does have enclosures, but still lacking gold. The Japanese player, of course, has 5 relics and potentially will get sixth one here once this is obtained. But I don't see any countdown timer or anything of that sort onto it, so I'm not sure what's going on there. This is forced to push way forward, push straight into the Daimyo Palace. Villagers managed to back on off, but also Purple's arm is going to get back in the corner, picking off units one at a time. Can start controlling the destroys forges there, which will reset the Yoshiros. And this bit of SimCity is causing a bit of issue there. Could take out a handful of these villagers. Purple's army sort of just running around pursuing, not getting too much work done, honestly. We got the Otachi research there, +5 versus infantry. Chick side is captured, being neutralized. Each player has gone for a good number of mana arms. Warguard Rangers do also hit pretty hard, so I think it may be still a decent item mix on in when fighting against those samurai. They will also be excellent versus the Onimusha and Yumi archers. Those Yumi archers not being upgraded past a veteran. There's another Castle Crow. Oh, pick that thing off. That's 2,000 resources. That was very lucky by Purple. The one moment that it's out, it got ambushed. That is 2,000 value down the drain. Purple's mixing in some more mana arms, going for more elite crossbowmen. The mana arms are still being feared to the samurai, even though they have armor clad to give them +2/+2 armor. They do lack deflection, and not to mention Otachi gives them +5 as infantry. Not to mention Bannerman +1 blacksmith armor. The mana arm spam may not be good enough versus Japanese, especially when he has so much extra passive gold income. And actual gold income. And now he has 20 villagers on gold. The English player has 0. The longer the game goes on, more likely to go in favor of the Japanese players. Shogun Castle now deployed in the field. And get up to 6 Bannermans. Got a good number of Onimusha in the field. Maybe a good idea to go for some Spring Guards. Horsemen coming for a flank. They will counter the Onimusha. Onimushas are particularly squishy. Plus, there's no biology research just yet. Bombard getting counter-barraged by the trebuchets. Horseman finds an excellent flank, takes on those trebuchets next. All the trebuchets do go down. Very nice. More horsemen being pulled in the field and crossbowmen. Double kill, double tap that one horseman. That's not good. Got a good number of Onimusha there. Both sides have a good number of horsemen. So the English player could eye for some spearmen. He's also going for regular longbowmen. No Warren Guard Rangers. They cost wood and gold. While the longbowmen do not cost any gold. Yeah, as much as I like Warren Guard Rangers, he is lacking gold. So going for regular longbow is probably not a bad idea. He's going for elite longbow now, and he does have 0, so that's one less thing he has to worry about. Horseman finding a flank down the Onimusha. And the Japanese players are mixing some samurai, more horsemen in the build queue, and more spearmen. The longbowman now complete. He probably does not have silk bow strings just yet. Yep, 7 tower range. We do have some Warren armies being put on the field, which is a pretty cheap way to get out some trebuchet. Yeah, I mean, trebuchet costs us what? 550, and the Warren Guard army itself is only 400 resources, 200 gold as opposed to 150, so a little bit more on gold, but you get, of course, you get all of that trebuchet for a pretty cheap price. You get 2 spearmen, 2 crossbowmen. Warren Guard army is an excellent value item. It does take a bit of time to deploy on the field, though. Horseman trying to raid some more villages from the Japanese player. Got some walls there, but it is open. Of course, got the stone walls here. This gold is still plentiful. So far, both sides haven't killed too many more villagers over each other. We do now the silk bowstring now being researched by purple. Biology for the Japanese player. Don't think we've seen biology just yet for the English player. He does have a number of horsemen on the field. A handful of men-at-arms over here. Oh, still that's got this large gold deposit here, so the Japanese player is going to be sitting quite pretty for all the gold. The English player just have to play around with enough trash to burn the gold. But wood would be an increasingly big issue on this map. Since this map is filled with mountains, there's not so much wood on this map as compared to others, so the English player will start running out of wood relatively quickly as well. The English player is at max up population. Going for some melee armor. Go for all the blacksmith research. Could I have the arrow volley research? Yep, those Warren Guard footmen had, what, 280 base health? These guys had 180 base health. Gilons had like 225. But still, Warren Guard footmen, biggest asset is probably their health, as well as a bit of bonus damage versus cavalry. But their slow attack speed does reduce their DPS. That also does mean they work better versus heavily armored units, since they can punch the armor a little bit more easily. Horsemen once again trying to raid some villagers. And without the biology research, the rocket emplacement will one-shot these cavalry units. Number of fortified outposts there. One be upgraded with cannon. This one's up. All of them upgraded with cannon, so we got a nice cannonade there. Both sides are amassing some forces. Onimusha eyeing up here. Purple's just trying to go for some basic walls. We got Sea Engineers pulling out some battering rams. Interrupts his own scaffolding there. The man-at-arms are building battering rams inside the shrubbery, so they don't see them at the moment. Does spot the battering ram there. Alright, so it does see them because it destroys the shrubbery there. Never mind. Or is a scout there? Nope. We do now have serpentine gunpowder being deployed on the field by the Japanese player. We do now have shattering projectiles being researched. English player has plenty of food and wood to work with. Probably get a massive production queue going. It still only has hardened spearmen, so he's got no spearmen upgrades. Not even the hardened spearmen upgrade. Grease axle now being researched by the English player. Oh, looks like this excavation site has dropped off the relic there. Somehow Yellow's is oh, he captured it, but he hasn't actually put the villager inside. Now there's a villager inside of it. He just simply captured it. I assume if it was captured, there's a village inside of it. Bombards taking out the fortified outpost. Longbowmen now engaging. Bombards have 10 range. Longbowmen have 8.5. Horsemen push way forward. Got crossbowmen advance way forward. Trebuchets will probably keep their distance. Also, they're going to counter barrage the bombards. Japanese players pushing forward. Quite a bit of stuff here. The English players queued up a good number of horsemen, longbowmen, and crossbowmen in reserve. Longbowmen focus down the hand cannoneers with some horsemen pursuing them now. Samurai trying to pursue those horsemen. Trebuchets getting a good volley there onto the bombard. Thanks to the shattering projectiles, they're a bit more reliable in taking out counter sieging. Horsemen trying to find the hand cannoneers once again. Crossbowmen holding the line, longbowmen being micro backwards. Now both are being micro backwards. The cannonade here has gone down. We've still got this cannon. 6 trebuchets in the field. That's maybe a little bit too many. Do have now another Worm Guard army being put on the field. Each player, with his shorter reinforcement time, is able to counterattack quite easily now. Though as the lines start compressing, the Japanese player have better time with his reinforcement. Both players have 106 villagers. Recently obtained a caravan. Horsemen moving around. You have the rocket emplacements taking out some more of those horsemen. No biology upgrades still, so those rocket emplacements will one-shot them. Trebuchets counter barraging the bombard and also hitting a barracks. Getting a good amount of damage there onto that bombard. The horsemen being intercepted by the horsemen. Yellow's now going for chemistry. More walls being established there, just some basic control walls. Now the Warren Guard army being pulled in the field. Could queue up a couple more of them due to his high cost efficiency. Bombard advancing. That'll do some fair amount of damage there. One more volley and that bombard will be going down. Fires and hits some samurai instead. Villager bring up that bombard once again. Yep, these horsemen trying to sneak around won't do much. Horsemen sneaking around, there's some infrastructure there, and actually a decent hole here. Each player could put some stone wall or stone towers along that wall. Probably not useful. Another line of outposts here, unupgraded, all of them. Another town center deployed on the field over here. Oh no, that's the capital. The Empire is going to lose a handful of villagers. Veteran Spearman and Biology not being researched by the English player. Triple stacks the wooden walls. Japanese player. Oh, we just canceled like 17 samurai that was in the build queue. We do now have the elite mounted samurai and another daimyo shogunate castle being employed in the field somewhere over here. This, of course, will give more bannermen. He's up to 9 potential bannermans. Plus an extra villager queue would not hurt in the future. Nice volley there by the trebuchets. So the trebuchets are, and everything's having trouble moving around. May want to build some extra gates. $50 samurai on the field, 15 mounted samurai on the build queue. The one stable here of the Yoshiro could be deleted to free up the Yoshiro. The other one's 1, 2, 3. And I don't just see 3 Yoshiro back there. Mount center around the field. Crossman makes a good call. Good hit there by the trebuchets. Longbow will be finding behind the back line. Trebuchets line up a shot there. Probably should start eyeing to hit those bombards. Massive there, 1. Magenta's front line and back line is starting to disintegrate. He's at the outpost. More man-arms, horsemen, and crossmen being on the build queue for Magenta. Has some gold stockpiled up. Trebuchets get a good volley there. Almost knocks out 2 more of those bombards. Magenta's having trouble no, he's not having trouble remaxing, just have trouble fighting. Yellow's forces, however, having trouble with surface area. Trebuchet missed the bombards. And it's starting to pull back now. More urbanized terrain is causing mobility issues for both sides. Trebuchets could be eyeing for those hand cannoneers. Gets a good volume on the hand cannoneers. Take out some more of the wooden walls. Increasing surface area for both sides. Yellow, both of them are maintaining pretty good production. Preventing, but then both of them not at pop cap. Kind of barrage the bombards there. Getting some good damage on those bombards. Another volley there on the hand cannoneers. Yellow's starting. Both sides are having trouble remaxing still. Yellow only has 69 villagers, which is a nice amount, but not probably plentiful enough. Also means Yellow's army is going to be significantly larger. Of course, he is fighting to a network of citadels. Commander Ship does indeed have a favorite store on the citadel. You have some more hits there. Horsemen pushing around. Horsemen starting to get picked off there, trying to flank around. Finds another forces, but getting intercepted. More crossbow and more man at arms, and a little bit more horsemen. More of these palisade walls are going down. The English player's been building quite a bit of them. Knocks out Bombard there. Only 5 bannermen in the field. He does have at least 1 of each right now. Maybe we've got to get at least 2 or 3 of each. More barracks now being established. Yellow has a good number of horsemen built here, some samurai, some hand cannoneers. With 10 villagers on gold and maintain 1300, while the English player has 0 and has 800 gold per minute. More horsemen push away forward, trying to do some more raiding. Of course, being intercepted by the shogunate castles. More walls being established. Do now have more melee armor being researched by the English player. So needs +1 melee damage. You can also redeploy the king if he so chooses. Horsemen in the back line could start shorting down the structure of your Shiros, just to be annoying. Oh, finds a hand cannoneer. That's a nice little pick. Each player is pretty low in gold. No Wurmbrod Rangers. He has 9 trebuchets at the moment. At this point in time, Yellow may need to get out some Shinto priests on the front line just to get a little bit of health for Jin. To help heal up the units that are getting wounded by these shrapnel round trebuchets. 80 versus 92 villagers. Japanese player has a nice balance of resources, including stone. Well, the English player has mostly just food. Entirely of food. Actually running low on wood. Running out of tree deposits over here, so the English player needs to start eyeing tree deposits relatively soon. More sporadic damage there. Bombard's pretty forward, takes out a crossbowman. Now, one of these bombard's quite wounded. I actually took out all the villagers there, so no more repair villagers. More of these wooden palisade walls starting going down. Yellow's horseman straight forward, which will accomplish pretty much nothing. Good volley there. It's hard to say. Purple is definitely in the back end, or magenta. It's more of a purple color in this game. Magenta is more of a brighter color, if that makes any sense. They always get the two mixed up. Horseman trying to slip on in. Yellow's got the capital there. Good. That's a pretty good amount of damage there. These trebuchets are actually doing a fair amount of damage. Just a fair amount of attrition damage. Horseman being intercepted. I can get another drink from nearby. My apologies if you hear it open up. But I feel like I'll need some more caffeine. Yellow's now pushing way forward. Magenta's falling back. Part of his forces are in the back line. We got 85 or 79 villagers. Purple has some woodworkers, but has a massive queue of units, so that's not an issue. He is also going for the elite Wormguard Rangers. I can show them off. For comparison, the elite crossman right now is doing 14 damage, 95 health, and is at 8.5 range. Man arms straight forward. Also queued up another Wormguard army. Samurai push straight forward. The crossman's still probably a better choice against these samurai. The Wormguard Rangers should punch them reasonably well enough, though. These players add max up population, so they're not going to be deployed out anytime soon. Horseman trying to flank around once again. More horsemen advancing. And we've also got a banner man there. Or that's that mounted samurai. Mounted samurai. Yellow's pulling back, repairing up some of the bombards. He needs a Shinto priest or two. I'm not sure how many he has in the field at the moment. Just the one. Which its health regen could be very nice right now. Does not have AoE health regen as an upgrade, right? Honestly, Shinto Ritual is not too terribly bad of an upgrader now, though he is actually lacking gold. Looks like his passive gold income is now equal to the English players, but both of them actually have passive gold income at the moment. Enclosures is just that strong versus 6 relics versus 1 relic. So they have now equal passive gold income. All the gold in the map is, except for this deposit here, has been consumed. So now the game will start stabilizing, and the English player has a bigger resource reserve. Japanese player could probably try to sell the 2,000 stone for gold. That may be a good option. If it's coming from me, it's probably a bad option. Samurai and horseman push forward. Man of Samurai or trebuchets is still causing them some issues. None of the Wormguard Rangers have managed to been pulled in the field, so can't show them off just yet. Spearmen push forward. Of course, they are just veteran spearmen. English player may want to synchronize his trebuchets, because I think he has enough trebuchets to one-shot a bombard if he were to synchronize his shots. Maybe some more outposts up here wouldn't be half bad. Gains a fair amount of damage there. Japanese player just actually needs Shinto Priest just to heal himself up with nutrition to mitigate the damages. I suppose one big aspect that is going in favor for the Japanese player is his Castle Pro. Every 6 minutes he gets 600 gold. That's 50 gold per minute. That's not actually super great. A number of these palisade walls are starting to go on down. Five trebuchets. Gets a fair amount of splash damage. Get some good damage on those mangonels. Mangonels, however, got a pretty good sweep there. Not enough population drop for the Worm Guard Ranger to spawn out. He has a pretty good queue of everything. Yellow started to push way forward, so the game may be closed out really soon if the English player cannot withstand this. He has good enough trebuchets to defend with, plus he has a white castle here without any upgrades, or network of citadels. Horseman comes forward a little bit of flank there, but does find some samurai. Oh, yep, sorry, caffeine in a can. Just some monsters. Let's see now. Like I said, look at this wounded force. This can cause Japanese players to lose an assault or lose a defense because the AFAs will start disintegrating very quickly. I still believe that Shinto Priest or two is actually required. The English player is doing excellent with these trebuchets, just slowly whittling his opponent down. It has a massive queue of crossbowmen and horsemen. Japanese player has a number of horsemen and samurai on the build queue. He is actually lacking some of the, that's the range bannerman, right? No, that is the mounted bannerman. Yep, the population space as well. Luckily, he will have at least a wave of reinforcements queued on up. When a unit goes down, it'll be quickly replaced. But of course, it can cause a whole mess of issues. Horsemen push way forward, but being stopped by a horseman. Right now, both players have actually quite low villager count, so the English player has plenty of food. Maybe we sell off 10,000 food to get some gold. Japanese player could start selling the food first, sell off 5,000 food to get some gold. Good volley there. Mangonels get a pretty good volley there. And there as well. English players taking a lot of hits there from those Mangonels. The game has reached the 1 hour point. Horsemen do get clean up there. We don't see any Worm Rangers just yet. He has not dropped enough population to spawn them out. He has so many other units to consume that population queue. I really want to see them out on the field. Got some lumber cans to be established by the Japanese player. Some stone walls there by Magenta. There's a bit of opening there. Magenta's trying to claim this wood. We do have a castle here. Trebuchets push forward. Mangonels even hit a lot of other units there. We do have 5 Mangonels in the field that even pulls up to man-at-arms and stray wall segments. Bombarders push forward. I think they're trying to hit some trebuchets. Crossbow firing away. The players are reinforced being redeployed quickly before even any War Guard Raiders get pulled in the field. Trebuchets fires a volley. Gets a pretty good hit there. Needs one more hit to take out Mangonel. Horsemen and crossbow being streamed on in. And the War Guard Rangers actually are not being properly queued. I see 6 populations free, but they're not being pulled in the field. It may be getting a little bit bugged. Horseman push forward to discuss some of these siege weapons. And maybe the Warren Guard army, yeah, it looks like the Warren Guard army was queued up before them. That's why they weren't being put on the field. The Warren Guard army came first. Purple's trying to flank those siege weapons once again. Crossbow just being streamed on in. Horse in the back line to get cleaned on up. Another good volley down on bombard by the trebuchets. More main arms just being streamed on in. Missed there, largely. And there as well. Yellow's trying to fall back at regroup. Both players are maxed out population still, so neither of them having that issue. The Yellow's queue is quite small. He needs to get more units queued on up. Good amount of resources, need to take time to queue them up. The English player still has a massive queue of units stored on up. The English player right now will outlist the last Japanese player. Another good volley in that bombard. Bombards looks like we'll go down to this next volley. Crossbow trying to engage. Got a number of drop banners here. A lot of melee bannerman banners. Another round of Mangonel hits there. Hits some longbowmen. 6 Warren Guard Rangers deployed in the field, but they have not a single group of them has deployed and dropped enough population. Mangonel's got a good volley there. Takes out a bombard there. He's able to one-shot them now with this proper synchronous shot. Next trebuchet shot. Takes out a Mangonel or 2. Crossbow push forward, being set by some horsemen. The players maintaining a queue of samurai. More horsemen being deployed, getting some more hand cannoneers. One group of Warren Guard Rangers have been deployed in the field. They, as opposed to 14 damage of longbowmen, they have 18 damage, even higher multipliers, and have a 9.55 range. So it's just ever so slightly shorter than bombars. So these guys can be used to pull out take up bombars. They also have 30 additional health. And attack speed is, that could be the network of castles speeding them up, so that's probably the same. But his opponent does have a significant number of samurai. As much as I like Warren Guard Rangers, the crossbow's still probably the better option. But mixing 2 groups together wouldn't be half bad. Right now they're doing 18 damage per shot. The samurai do, of course, have 9 armor, so they receive 9 damage per shot. But their extra range makes them very difficult to deal with. Not to mention, Mangonels have 9 range, so the Warren Guard Rangers do outrange the Mangonels, who are supposed to be their counter. Good number of men-arms here for escort. Trebuchets trying to run away. Crossbow and Warren Guard Rangers sort of stepping along with the trebuchets as the horsemen try to intercept. Crossbow and Warren Guard Rangers push right forward. Men-at-arms just trying to be a bit of a meat shield. They are inferior to the samurai. Fifteen crossbowmen remain on the queue. Had a mass queue of them, and some horsemen, yellow or purple, needs to get more queues going. He has still a handful of queues of Warren Guard Rangers. They are expensive in gold, so maybe good idea to cancel them and go for other units. Honestly. The gold could be better used in man-at-arms, which he does need more than going. He has 300 gold, max out population. He does have trouble maxing out population. He has a decent amount of resources. Both players are below 100 villagers, which means both sides' armies are in the very ludicrous level. I'm just so used to a lot of games where players have around 130 to 120 to 150 villagers. In this case, they have a low number, which means massive army sizes. 105 versus 107 both has... oh, one almost has 10, the other one has 14 siege weapon population. Both of them are just fielding massive armies. Trebuchets doing some excellent work, these English trebuchets being far more effective than I expected. This may be one of the best maps for the trebuchets due to the laned nature. And English has got locked down this flanking effect, and the English player has not been exploiting this flank there. But there's a castle along that area, so it's not necessarily a hard lock, just a soft lock. Wait, that's the wrong term for that sort of thing. Horsemen trying to flank around, and Purple's forces are getting trapped on both sides of the gates. Trebuchets nails a bombard, does not take it out in one hit though. It looks like Magenta's force is completely surrounded, but with the walls it's hard to traverse one flank from another flank. Some of the trebuchets are being exposed, some of those bombards are going down. Jeff player has 2 bombards remaining and has a good stockpile of resources, including gold. Of course, he is playing Japan, who does not have access to tithe barns. Something I always have to remind myself. Lax or Shiro, get extra gold income. Or Lax tithe barn gets your Shiro, which do have alternatives, but he has no way to generate stone for free. Another network of citadels. We've got even bugged scaffolding there. These are not even structures to cancel. Horsemen coming on in. I think yellow needs to get out more mangonels, but these trebuchets are a huge issue for yellow. He really needs to take out those trebuchets. He can't deploy siege weapons, the proper counter unit to these units, until these trebuchets are gone, since the English player has a critical number of them for counter barraging. So far for 1 hour 10 minutes, or 11 minutes. And unlike most games, both players have gold to spend, so it's not a trash fight either. We got value. It's a high quality prolonged game as well. Let's see, 84 versus 81 villagers. 80 gold or 800 gold per minute versus got a decent amount of gold. Looks like he must have received a deposit of Castle Crow recently. Maybe not. Is that actually up to 1300? Oh, fresh. Oh, he is actually going for a handful of traders, so he is going to get some extra gold income via that way. Very, very good. But right now he does need more food income. He can collect wood income, just go for non-trash units. He only has 60 villagers on the field. And only a handful of them on wood, so he has an adequate number on wood, I would say, for now. That was straightforward. These walls have been oh so annoying for yellow to deal with. Trebuchets fires a volley. Takes out some a Yumi Bannerman, not a great target there. Horseman makes a fine opening there. Trying to go for the trebuchets. Cross one, there's just enough fat slotting by Magenta in order to prevent yellow from breaking through. Oh, the king is dead. I didn't realize he rebuilt the king. Long live the king. We have now Warrenguard Raiders being put in the field, which is a fast deployment of horsemen and knights with a slight discount. The king is being redeployed. Might as well rebuild the king. Also, I sort of think the king should be a unit that automatically respawns like the Khan. I think that'll be a nice way to change it up a little bit. Reduce the first one's production time so it's no longer free, but increase the build time, and it'll just be continuous production of them. I don't know how long the build queue should be. Maybe just equal to how long it takes to rebuild the Khan. And call it good. Horseman straightforward. He will start finding these traders. He knows where the trade post is, so he could try going towards it. We've got stone walls here. He could try sending a raid down here. This area is open, so horsemen could charge down here and clear it out. It'll be an interruption. That's it. Excuse me. Of course, purple will need more horsemen for that. He has a good queue of them going with some War Guard Raiders. It still has a number of War Guard Rangers on the build queue as well. The Japanese player might as well go for the last bit of range damage. It will help his defenses for a slight amount. It does make a difference. Yeah, it feels like the Japanese economy is doing quite poorly. Do note that I'm talking about in-game, nothing related to real life. All economies are not doing so great nowadays. The English player is actually lone wood as well, has 9 villagers in wood, 2 villagers in gold, while I clean up this last bit of gold here. Some gold diggers. So poor wood reserve, plenty of food. To queue up a massive pile of man-at-arms. Maybe try to squeeze out some more barracks and just try to flood the opponent with man-at-arms. This one's trying to flood in some horsemen. Crossman straight forward, number of horsemen charge away forward. Keeping the trebuchets alive is important, while the horsemen are countered by crossmen. There's enough junk in the way preventing surface area. Samurai's trying to close on in, gets a good volley, takes out one of the mangonels with his one of the trebuchets with his mangonels. Bombard's trying to push his way forward as well. Gets another hit there, takes out another trebuchet, very good. Counter barraging, he managed to connect on something, but now we got the walls. Some farms got killed off there. I don't know how important that is at the moment. These players lost some villagers, but also means he can get a large military force in the field. He has a little bit of a queue issue going. He actually has decent enough man-at-arms. Probably enough crossbowmen. One War Guard Ranger remaining. We've got battery rams trying to push along the flank, trying to clean up those markets, trying to get rid of the market economy. Since he can't get a market economy, or at least he can at least trade with himself at minimum. I wonder if players forget that he can trade with himself. Good hits there. Trebuchets connect onto the mangonels. Rolls a miss there. Crossman push way forward. Man-at-arms engaging. Good hits there on those man-at-arms. More of these crossmen getting knocked out. These boys having trouble remaxing, which is a bit of a problem. He has more War Guard Rangers on the build queue. Bombard is getting counter barrage by the trebuchets. The king is dead. Cannoneers push right forward. War Guard Rangers will be excellent counter them. Machella's starting to get broken through. All of his gold has been consumed. There's been another crossman and horseman being queued on up. 9 War Guard Rangers still on the field. Yellow's man's break on through. He's actually running low on food though. He has plenty of wood and gold, so maybe going for some units involving those. More siege weapons. The English player actually deployed on a handful of knights, 3 of them. That's why of them weren't guard raiders. Battery rams now pushed forward. Ooh, these battery rams took quite a beating. Decapturing the secret site there. There's a good way to decrease this opponent's gold income. Good volley there. The longer the game goes on, I think the English player will do a little bit better. But the lack of this on the English side, I'm gonna be blunt. That could be what loses in the game. While it's always a bad idea to blame sort of things like, oh, bad map generation, in this case, it's actually legitimate. Crossbowing in a pretty good concave there, push way forward. Maganel gets a decent hit there. Trebuchets looks to try and hit the Maganel. Maganel will be packed up before getting one more volley off. Will be picked off there. Crossbow push way forward. Japanese player's probably remaxing. Has resources queued on up. He needs to actually queue up the units. Got a good number of bannermans on the field. The Japanese player is forgetting to remax out. He's down with 50 population. This is a huge issue. Stone wall. Oh nope, those are just palisade walls for the English player. Queue some more bombards, home horsemen, samurai, more bannermans. He has resources. I'm not sure why he's not queuing up even more. The player was about to be knocked out, but with this brief moment of room to breathe, he's able to stabilize at least. He has enough wood to spend on to various units, whether it be longbowmen and horsemen. I think he's someone who's veteran spearmen, which he's fighting against stuff that's not veteran spearmen useful against. So it's probably a good idea to go for horsemen. Longbowmen probably won't do very well with all the samurai. Could spend gold on the Wormguard arms is probably the best option right now to get out more trebuchets. A handful of veteran spearmen not necessarily half bad. Yellow is trade is now starting to be intercepted. Jade plays still has trouble remaxing. Wait. He has some production structures, a lot of production structures, okay. I was thinking like, oh, how much production did he lose? Not all of it, far from it. Yellow's out of food. He sort of just needs anything on the field. He could also for some Onimusha. Or that costs food, right? I'm thinking Age Mythology of wood and gold. Yeah, right now food is his biggest issue, so buy out some Maganels. Get anything on the field, because he just needs something. Castle Crows. This is quite important. Castle Crow's treasure caravan just got deployed in the field. And looks nearly identical to the others. I think it's slightly different. But if that connects, I'll give him a... Never mind. Yep, right now the jet player is lacking food. That's his biggest issue. Safe villages on the farm, 6,000 food per minute. Or 3,000 food per minute, nearly 4,000 food. Treasure caravan... may have dropped off. I don't see it alive anymore. So I'm not sure where the treasure caravan's at the moment. Horseman backline just causing issues. Very good. Yellow's starting to get an army in the field, but can't be... has some food to work with. Can be sustained. Yellow and magentas right now, or purples, still lacking gold, of course. Just going straight for a crossbow horseman. That's probably the best composition. Some Wormguard armies would probably be a good way to help supplement it. Since it would be very cost effective pulling out those. Since the trebuchet would be 150, the crossbow are 48, so that would effectively be 230 gold worth for units and 200 gold. There are a couple free spearmen to go along with it. Now I mentioned the wood would be quite cheap as well. Trebuchets. Got a pretty good volley there. These trebuchets has been keeping the English player very much in the game. When it comes to Troy Valley, right now they're pretty equal. Fighting the Shogunate Castle, not exactly a great idea. Castle Pro has been repaired by 3 damage. You monster. Samurai charging way forward. Yeah, I was trying to fall back. Has some food to work with. Not a massive production queue at the moment. Going for more hand cannoneers. Oh, the king is dead. The king's being redeployed on the field. Long live the king. More horsemen push away forward. Crossbow as well. Mangonel's firing a counter barrage here onto the Mangonel. Here comes another wave of trebuchets. Another excellent hit there. Like I said as well, he also needs Shinto priests just to get these guys passively healed. 69 crossbow on the field. Nice. 49 samurai. 26 hand cannoneers. There's horseman goes down to the Shogunate Castle. Shogunate Capital. Good damage there. Trebuchet starting to fall back. Does take a hit there from a bombard. Shogunate Castle not being repaired up just yet. The English player is now down below 10,000 food, and the king is dead. The king's being redeployed in the field. Long live the king. Mangonel took a pretty good volley there. No siege works just yet on these trebuchets for more health. I suppose they've been staying alive well enough, but that could have actually been very useful. Should be allowed them to take another hit from the bombards, right? Don't know the exact math there off the top of my head. Oh, we got the fast slob of walls. In fact, actually trapped a good number of these trade caravans. Magenta should eye for some stone walls over here if possible. 38 stone. Buy 100 stone, you should be able to wall it off with some stone walls. Horseman's trying to free them now. The Japanese player has a usable amount of gold at the moment. And not pop cap. And has some resources to work with. I think Mangonel is still the way to go for the Japanese player. Up to you for this crossbowman. These horsemen will not take out the Shogunate Castle. The English player could actually build some stone walls there and put some Burgard Rangers, and start doing some being annoying like that. Put a stone tower up, delete it, or keep it there, and that's so you don't have to worry about a gate. Yeah. Samurai push away forward. Takes out all the trebuchets there. That is quite important. The English player has only 2 trebuchets, 3 more on the way. The king is alive. What's this? Sir King the 10th. You know what? That would be sort of nice. Like the pharaohs from Age of Mythology, have each king get a name to, like, Sir King the X, saying how many kings you've gone through. Magenda's horseman managed to break on through. Does get a pretty good drop off there, but these traders will be going on down. Horseman push on the flank. That's all not traversable. Crossbowman and the king pushing way forward. Horseman there. And purple's going to take time to secure another sacred site. That's quite nice. Every bit of gold counts. Yep, a number of these farms are actually vacant, and they're actually closer to drop-off points, so some of these farmers need to be retasked over there. Horsemen pushing the way forward. We got multiple siege workshops there. Building some battering rams to batter down his opponent. Here's something that Purple can do. Get a siege tower and load up some longbowmen and put them on top of the wall. And just be oh so annoying like that. Then his opponent has to bring back samurai to go up there. That will be just trolly. The game slowed down a little bit there. It does destroy some of these forts that have the Yoshiro inside of them, so it'll be a bit of time before they get redeployed in the field. But this also means we get some free Shinto priests to help heal up his army. That's been I've been mentioning over and over again. These 3 relics will drop, but he has already 2 more Shinto shrines here, so one Shinto priest can simply get them back into these other 2 existing ones. No new infrastructure is required. But he will nonetheless save the Shinto shrine. Claim some wood there. Wood is probably extremely a bit of a problem for both sides. They're trying to eat the last of the wood on the map. English player has a very good stockpile of resources. The Japanese players going to get a good stockpile as well. Has a production queue of horsemen, samurai, and cannoneers, but still inferior to the English players. Resource reserve, but the English player has no military reserve at the moment. No production queue going. He needs to queue up a good number of forces. Villagers are advancing somewhere. Doing some outposts there. Looks like he's trying to break on through. Yellow's trying to respond up there. They're smashing their heads in each other. It's been 1 hour straight of them smashing their heads into each other. And now the 130 or 1 hour 30-minute mark, they're going to try. The English players trying to change up a little bit. Stone walls here, so he's going to try to lock down this side of the map so he can deal with this infrastructure. Got some samurai here. Man-at-arms try to clean up the samurai, then send some more battering rams to batter down his opponent. There's the battering rams now. The man-at-arms need to go to the samurai. Horsemen moving around here. All the traders, of course, dead. And that honestly unfair advantage has now been equalized. Has not restored the treasure caravan. No, the Castle of Crow is actually not fully rebuilt. You can see here no attack. And since it's in the repair state, it takes double damage. Looks like the man-at-arms will be cleaned on up. Yes. They are still at it. 1 hour, 31 minutes. Villager there. Good hit there on those units. Crossbowmen firing away. Horsemen push way forward. Crossbowmen standing in between them trebuchets. The English player has a critical mass of trebuchets now once again. This is probably the most important of the English army right now, and has an excellent number of crossbowmen. And this just not open terrain, just causing issues for the horsemen to connect. So horsemen can't capture the crossbow nor the siege weapons, and mangonels can't capture the crossbowmen. Yep, he managed to take away his markets. Man-at-arms push right forward. Horsemen now charging on in. Trebuchets now advancing. I think they're going to hit a core of this formation. I'm not sure exactly what they're going to fire at the moment. Nope, they're in range of the bombards. One more shot, and that one could go down. Does go down. Samurai advancing. Got more horsemen crossbowmen push right forward. Japanese player has a finally good food stockpile once again. Not too much gold at the moment as well. And he lost all his Shinto Yoshiros, so those take a bit of time to get replenished. Has some gold to work with, not too much wood. Has a lot of stone. He can sell off the stone for gold. English player starting to spring on, charge on in. Oh, treasure caravan just got dropped off there. That gives them a critical amount of provisions to work with. Castle Crow will be going down once again. More forces here. Japanese player has, both players still has a over 100 unit army. Barracks here, looks like he's just going to try to infest his opponent. One thing I like to do as well myself is build some units and peel them off the opponent's back line in the hidden parts of the base and start infesting opponent's base with some battering rams. Very, very powerful, particularly for Mongols with the improved lightweight construction beams. Horsemen charging way forward, gets intercepted with some man-at-arms. Samurai advancing as well. English player's been doing excellent in Michael this entire game. But looks like the Japanese player may get the full surround now. The English player has plenty of units on the build queue to replenish his losses. Gets a good volley there in the hand cannoneers. Yellow's trying to neutralize the central sacred site. Crossbow in still good numbers. Reinforcements being streamed on in. They just need to be a move forward. He also want to pull back there. Running low on gold. His production queue is not great. Single production queue. He has still production structures up here, just not being queued on up. Yellow's just having trouble remaxing. He could be afflicted by exhaustion. It's the 1 hour 35 minute mark in the game. English player is getting gold from his enclosures upgrade, while the Japanese player getting it from relics and potentially the Yoshiros. But the relics, looks like 3 relics on the map, and this not deposited in there. So he's down a bit of his gold income, and he hasn't had time to fix it. Looks like he's starting to fix now, see one of the relics picked on up. Jet player starting to run out of steam. Looks like he did sell off a good amount of stone. Sell off the rest of it. Battering ram battering down the castle. Both players still, Japanese player not remaxing. The English player is also not remaxed, but has plenty of units on the queue for it. The other player has some samurai. Trebuchets nails the bombard. Japanese player is running low on wood as well, so his horseman production is greatly diminished, to say the least. Now the short valley is pretty similar, so both doing quite good there. This time, Japanese players got a bigger concave here. And we also got some horsemen on the flank trying to intercept this bombard. He has some reinforcements back there. He needs to attack, move forward. Hand cannoneers being intercepted by the horsemen as well as the bombard. Trebuchets get a pretty good splash hit there on all the stacked up units there. Yellow's front line is disintegrating. More horsemen push way forward. The crossman has an excellent concave there. That's just 2 choke points that's funneling the Japanese player in. Good there. Hits there on the horseman. And Japanese player has backed out the game at the 1 hour 37 mark. This is Great saying thank you for watching and on to next replay.